Now we head into the new year, and of course the new biennium budget, but still a lot more work to be done as well. What are your key issues, your key thoughts on the agenda coming up?
Well, we're still putting that together. My colleagues and I will get together in late January and start putting our agenda together. But here are a couple of things I can tell you we're going to be working on. One is we're going to take a look at how to make state government more efficient. One of the things that we do with regard to boards and commissions is we have something called the Sunset Review Board. And it goes out and looks at all the boards and commissions and see which one we should get rid of and which ones we should keep. There was a federal Supreme Court opinion that effectively said we've got an antitrust problem in the way we do some of our boards and commissions. So we're going to look at restructuring those. But hopefully part of that is eliminating a bunch of them and consolidating operations, because frankly we pay a lot of people to run these. We can do it more efficiently. The other thing is that same concept of doing reviews periodically to see if we still need them, if their mission is still what we want it to be, should also be applied to state agencies. We have over 20 state agencies that report to the governor as cabinet level officials. Is that enough? Is it the right number? I think it's probably too many. But as we go forward, we need to look at what their mission is and how effective they are at achieving it. Other states do this. They do it on a rolling basis. And so we're going to be looking at implementing some type of agency, state agency, review and sunset provisions to have them come back before the legislature to review their operation and their mission. I think it's part of accountability in state government. At the same time, we want to make sure we're promoting and encouraging to be efficient. The best way to do that is to let the state bureaucrats know you're going to have to explain yourself in front of the state legislature every few years. It's going to make you a whole lot more responsive.
Huge year for the entire state of Ohio. Of course, they say, so goes Ohio, so goes the country. Huge presidential election year. John Kasich on the ballot, of course, and also the Republican National Convention in Cleveland.
This is going to be a big year.
Spotlight year for Ohio.
Look, Ohio's shining. I was up in, I always hesitate whenever a guy like me says it. It probably proves it's not true, but I was up in Cleveland for the presidential debate, and I said Cleveland's becoming kind of a hip town. The reality is it's not the same Cleveland that when I grew up. And we've got a lot to be proud of in Ohio, from Columbus to Cleveland, Cincinnati, to Salina, to Coldwater, to Coshocton, all across this great state. And so I tell people all the time, Ohio is moving forward, and the nation's going to see it in this political year. We will be ground zero for presidential politics in 2016, just like we were every presidential election that I can remember.
Still the must-have state in your mind, 18 electoral votes, the bellwether?
You do not become president as a Republican without carrying Ohio. And if you're a Republican out there, make sure you get out and vote in the March primaries. I'm biased. I'm for Governor Kasich because he's been willing to lead. He's helped turn Ohio around. But whoever your support, let's make sure we pick somebody that can change and has a vision to move America forward like Ohio's moving forward. I'm going to be active on the state scale to try and help elect people that are going to achieve things that make Ohio and the country a better place for my 8 and 10-year-old to live. To me, that's what this is about. You know, I talk to my colleagues all the time, and I hear from them the same reason I serve is the same reason they serve, to make Ohio a better place for our kids and grandkids. And I think this year, Ohioans, you're going to have the national spotlight to tell America what you think's important. And look, if the country ran more like Ohio runs, we'd all be better off. Maybe that dysfunction that is D.C. Would be mitigated, and we could actually get a government in D.C. that moves forward.